And now that we have our eclipse, let's go to our layer and change the opacity down to about 70%. So it looks kind of cool looking. Next, we're going to work with our text tool and put the Full Moon Pro-Am. That's the name of the golf tournament. So T on the keyboard for text, draw a box around the area that we want to type. We're going to center align the text and put the Full Moon Pro-Am. Okay, you can choose a font that you like. I'm going to choose that one, make it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to make moon bigger. And I'm done. The Full Moon Pro-Am. Now what we're going to do is change one of the colors. The full is going to be yellow. So just highlight full. Go up here to our palette. Click on that. Let's get a yellow color. Hit OK. And we got our yellow. Got it?
Only full should be yellow?
Yeah. Only full should be yellow. Nope. Next, we're going to bulge it. Okay? Notice that my lines are kind of, there's a lot of space between the text. That's kind of too much space. You need to go to like your window, paragraph window, or tab. Then in your character box, you have this A over A. It says set the leading. We're going to change that maybe to something like 30, maybe 30. Yeah, 30 looks good. So again, window, paragraph, change it to character, and then change your leading right here to about 30. Leading. Leading, L-E-A-D-I-N-G. Next, we're going to bulge it. So it's like a basketball coming at you, like a bulge of a basketball. To bulge it, T on the keyboard to select your text, highlight it. On the top, there's this T going over this line. Select that. And you have these warp text options. And we're going to choose bulge. And we're going to change our bulge to plus 50%. So plus 50. Hit OK. Okay, so we got our bulge now. Yeah, 50 is your bulge. And I mean, there's a lot of different options you can do with that. So, okay, next. We're going to put Invitational and black text on the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. So T on your keyboard, type in Invitational. Highlight that, get the size font that you need it to be. Choose smaller color. There we go. And that's going to be black. So make sure it's black. Color. Okay. Yes, black. You can choose. Okay, next we're going to go to Layer, Type, Create Work Path. We're going to create a work path with our invitational. So make sure the invitational text layer is selected on the right side. We're going to go layer, type, create work path. Okay, layer, type, create work path. What that does is creates a path or a line or a shape for our text. This is important because if you're using a font and you use it on this computer and then you go to another computer and it doesn't have that font, it's going to be different. But if you create a shape layer, it changes the font from like a text to kind of like an image. It draws the lines out for you and creates like an image for that. So that's what we just did right now when we create the work path. Now in the layers path, select the invitational text layer and drag it to the delete button because we just made a path for it, so we don't need this text, so we can delete that. So notice the black is gone, and now only the outline layer is selected. Not outline layer, but the path. Okay, next we're going to be taking our L and increasing the size so it looks like a T. Like not a T, a flag. It's going to be a flag. So hit A on the keyboard and choose the direct selection tool. And then let's go down to our L. Click on L and you'll notice a bunch of dots show up. You're going to drag the dots up so it's a little bit higher. And it's going to be our flag for our golf tournament. Okay? So hit, ooh, don't do that. No, both sides. You do them one at a time. So we just increased our L shape all the way up to the top. Next, we're going to add a gradient layer. And you guys know gradients. We've done lots of gradients before. So it's going to go from white to transparent, from left to right. So create a new layer, call that gradient. And then go up to your gradient bar right here. And make sure the G, gradient tool, select the palette. And it's the second one. And we're going to choose white to transparent. White to transparent. You hit OK. You hold on the shift key and click and drag across the page. And you'll notice the white smears across the page in a cool way. Let's see. I'm going to bring down the opacity a little bit so it's easier to see the words. Now, in the paths palette, make sure that work path is selected. And we're going to choose layer, add vector mask, current path. So in your paths, make sure work path is selected. And we're going to go to layer. And we're going to go to vector mask. And we're going to select current path. Okay, current path. So what that did was it's selecting the current path of the vector invitational. Okay. Now we can go hit the A key and go to path selection tool. And we're going to hit the check mark button on the top here to dismiss the target path. And notice that it's now white. So that gradient that we made, what it did was took that gradient and applied it only to the invitational text. And now it's like a gradient over that path.